Industry experts are saying Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be the first video game ever to be able to achieve this. I'll be telling you what that is and more all in this video today. So over the weekend, you might have seen Grand Theft Auto 6 pop up in some of the headlines, and they all were kind of related around this topic. On Kotaku, GTA 6 being the first, I'm going to call it 5A game, is a sign of both confidence and desperation. On PCGamer.com, God help us all, GTA 6 may be a 5A game, says Devolver co-founder, and that's why the entire industry is taking cover from it like it's a nuclear blast. And then on Eurogamer.net, watch out, Skull and Bones industry veteran believes GTA 6 will be the first 5A game. So you saw those headlines and were probably wondering, if you have no idea what that means, well, what exactly is going on here? Well, video games are given sort of classifications, and they're not very formal. In fact, the term for video game classifications kind of began in the late 1990s, and the term was honestly kind of borrowed from the credit industry's bond ratings, where AAA bonds represent the safest investment opportunities and are most likely to meet their financial goals. So it's very similar to that. But essentially, video games have been rated under about 3 to 4 different classifications. You have a AAA video game, which is typically done by a mid-sized or major publisher, which has higher development and marketing budgets than other tiers of games. You have AAA Plus, which is a new subset of AAA games that are the highest selling or have the highest production values. So games like Call of Duty or Overwatch or League of Legends. So those are huge titles. Under that, you have AA games, which are moderately sized titles, but are not coming from major studios. So think of like PUBG, Battlegrounds, or DayZ, games like that. And then you have the III games, which are independently funded indie games. So those are going to be sort of your smaller titles. Then in 2020, somehow the term Quad A games ended up getting started. This was around the launch of the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and S. So they came up with Quad A games, and actually Ubisoft announced that Skull and Bones was going to be a Quad A game, but it's kind of a buzzword in and of itself. And now Grand Theft Auto 6 is being categorized as the first, I'm going to call it again, still 5A quality and caliber game. And so now you might be wondering, well, where is this coming from? Well, Nigel Lory, who is the co-founder of Devolver Digital, actually did an interview with IGN, and he talked about Grand Theft Auto 6 again being the first 5A game out there. He ends up going on to say this about Grand Theft Auto 6: there are AAA games and then there's Quad A games. And I'd argue that Grand Theft Auto 6 is potentially the 5A game. That's quintuple A. If they start blurring together at some point for you like they do for me, it's just bigger than anything else, both in scope and scale of the game, and the kind of cultural impact it has, and the attention it demands. And honestly, I completely agree with Nigel Lory. Not only is Grand Theft Auto 6 going to be an amazing game from what you actually experience when you get your hands on the controller and you put your disc in the console, but also outside of that, you're going to have people from all walks of life who don't play video games talking about Grand Theft Auto 6. People who don't play video games that do play Grand Theft Auto 6. You're going to have athletes, movie stars, musicians, people, again, from all walks of life that are going to completely stop what they're doing. You'll have some people that'll probably take off work. Some people that might end up skipping out of school or other responsibilities just to play this game. And that's probably what tips it over the scales, going from a Quad A game to a quintuple A game, like Nigel Lory just described. Now, in that same interview with IGN, we also heard from another individual in the video game sphere. That's Adam Lieb, who is the CEO of the Gamesite marketing platform. And he talked about Grand Theft Auto 6 essentially being this dark cloud hanging over the video game industry. He said, "I would say that Grand Theft Auto 6 for the last year and a half has been part of almost every conversation around launch dates I have heard. The scope of the game is so large that it ends up competing with stuff that it otherwise wouldn't," he said. "If you're a shooter, you don't care a lot about other things besides shooters. Generally, if you're an FPS, that's the genre you care about. But GTA has been this little bit of a black cloud that looms over everything." And that's because, like I mentioned earlier, everyone is going to stop essentially everything they're doing to play Grand Theft Auto 6 once the game comes out. It doesn't matter if you're into, RPGs, first-person shooters, whatever. you're going to be playing GTA 6. Like I mentioned earlier, even if you only probably play mobile games or aren't really into games at all, you'll probably end up playing Grand Theft Auto 6. That's just how big of a title this thing is going to be. So I'll leave a link to that article in the description. The interview is quite interesting, and they bring up some good points about how other games would be crazy to put their release date around Grand Theft Auto 6 because fans wouldn't be playing it, content creators wouldn't be doing anything else other than playing Grand Theft Auto 6, which we definitely all will be doing. So it's a very interesting article. Again, I will leave a link to it in the description. But again, it begs the question, do you think Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be the first quintuple A game? Do you think that's just a crazy buzzword? Do you think all of them sort of fall into the same category? For me, it's tough, and I'm going to use a Rockstar equation for this. When do we go from like the HD era to like another era, like the 4K era? We clearly know the difference between the 3D era, Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, to what we had in GTA 4 and 5 and online. But when do we jump to the next era? The lines are kind of blurred. Yes, we're still in the HD era. It's just a more advanced HD era. So how do you tell the difference between the two? Let me know what you guys think, though, in those comments down below. I think the discussion is very interesting. And even with that statement from another video game developer, it kind of makes you wonder, are we underestimating the size and scale of Grand Theft Auto 6? Is the map going to be bigger than we think? There's rumors of the game costing up to $2 billion and up to 70% of interiors being enterable. Is something like that true? And is something like that only achievable in a quintuple A game? Is it going to have features that we've never seen before? Whether it be blending multiplayer and single player. There's so many questions here, but it raises the question with this classification, that's what I'm going to call it. Are we undersizing Grand Theft Auto 6 only because we've gotten so little information about it? You know, Rockstar's been so quiet with the first trailer, the second trailer. Yes, they provided a lot of information, but not a lot of explanation. And so we still don't know how big this game is ultimately going to be. But another video game developer calling it a quintuple A title, I think underscores just how large this thing is going to be when it's all said and done. And the article also goes on to say, because of all the different elements that Grand Theft Auto Online and whatever GTA 6's multiplayer version is going to offer, that it can also tap into other categories of games as well. So they were talking about FPS games, only being really concerned about what FPS games do. Well, Grand Theft Auto Online's updates, I mean, let's just go back and look at the wide variety of them. You've got the Diamond Casino and Resort, which is kind of all about like just casual gambling style games playing at a casino, all the way from, you know, elusive heist to a bunch of different things involving cars, which dips into the racing game. So it does tackle a bunch of different areas, I do agree. And Grand Theft Auto 6 has the ability to just absolutely explode with that. So that's where I'm going to end things in today's video. Again, let me know what you think in those comments down below. Do you think Grand Theft Auto 6 will be the first quintuple A video game? Let me know what you think in those comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go on and enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the GTA 6 videos that I'll be doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care. And I'll see you guys in the next video.